Yo ho! What's going on, boys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you Hunt, man. We're back with some thoughts and speculation on chapter 159. Like the video, subscribe. We're trying to get to 2,000 and we're almost there. So if you're listening to the video, join the family, and if you're already part of the family, comment below and let us know what your ideas are on what we talked about today and on the chapter in general. But so I haven't heard exactly what it is, but I've heard people come into the chat talking about it. About like some theory going around. I don't know if it's Zhoniin's or somebody else's about like the heroes being brought back, or not necessarily resurrected, but rejuvenated, if that's the right word to use, um, by Fubuki because of her absence or our inability to like locate her whereabouts, and the fact that Saitama and King were lining up a bunch of heroes. Now, I want to talk about a lot of other stuff as well, like the stuff that happened in the chapter too. But this was relevant because I've been meaning to talk about what's next. Now that Sage has been defeated in this chapter, we can look at it for what he was in the entirety of that character. It seemed like it was a shoo-in. We didn't really get any build-up for him. There was no real background for him besides the lineage of centipedes that we've seen, but we can't really connect. Maybe there's some out of manga context to it that's canon, but I can't necessarily mention it or say it here. So it brings it to the question, like, who is left? I kind of felt like Garou was skipping power, or his boosts were way too great for what the other boosts were, especially or in particular right after Darkshine. Like the boost was crazy, like crazy. So maybe that's the explanation as to why I'm feeling this way. It's the continuation of my rust feeling a little bit earlier in the storyline, or it's a valid question to ask who's next. Like, I want to elaborate upon this because there's a lot of different angles that we can look at this from. Because, for example, if we're to look at individuals who I think would be adversaries for Garou, who if they show up, they wouldn't necessarily, in my personal opinion, in my personal scaling, make a difference, are guys like Rover or Phoenix Man or Psychos. What if they showed up? Would they not be antagonists to Garou as well? Would he not have at least some type of feeling or pent up rage or some type of reaction towards them showing up on the surface? Maybe not Phoenix Man, but Rover and Psychos for sure. Maybe not Psychos because of Giro, but you get what I'm saying. Those are the guys who would show up, and they're not strong enough, in my opinion, to fight Garou. But what if they are? The big speculation with Rover is that even though Saitama was holding back and wasn't trying to kill Rover, he still smacked him with an earthquake causing a punch. Like it was spectacular. We haven't really seen that many individuals or any individuals besides like Boros and what, Orochi, now Garou. Those are the only individuals who are causing destruction at that level like that with a casual attack. So if we're not gonna get another random, non-built up, non-backstory supported, or not expected character to show up like Sage did, don't we have to get an adversary who we already know of? And if that's the case, would this not be another example of like not the scaling, but our perception of what the scaling is to be rearranged? Because the big complaint when Metalbat showed up, aside from the whole fan service portion, was that people didn't believe that he should be able to do or compete at the level at which he was competing at. But whole reality, and the case actually had been the entire time, that yes, as long as you are durable enough to survive the damage that you're taking, fighting spirit will continue to increase. So that's one thing that I think we should think about maybe throughout the podcast, or if you guys want to answer now, like who's next? What's next for Garou?
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have a set enemy to face because what happened with Platinum Sperm and Sage was like they were just enemies in a proximity. Like he was near them. They were ready to fight, so he fought them. It wasn't like a reason for him to approach and fight them or anything. It's just they both were with it, and he fought them. Uh, unless evil natural water comes back into things, they don't even have a hero properly set to fight Garou at this moment because Bang is the one who was, who was hunting Garou pretty much. So everybody's exhausted. Like the only person there to fight him is Saitama, but I still don't think we would get that matchup just because for that you have to build that up. And you can say it has been built up because they've already interacted with each other before, but they can't just randomly just look at each other and just on sight just try to throw hands. There has to be something that provokes Garou in some way for him to fight Saitama, in my opinion. For it to be satisfying, in my opinion. Especially with what we've seen last chapter with Garou being less on the side of a villain and more on the side of like an anti-hero. I feel like for us to get the fight what we want with those two, Garou has to be properly set as a villain for that to be more interesting.
Yeah, because especially the way this chapter ends with Garou saying, "My fist is perfected." This to me goes like, okay, so he's kind of at his own considered peak now. So surely Saitama should be the next opponent. But maybe that's just me kind of pushing it because I really want to see Garou versus Saitama, like properly. But like Satsuki said, it doesn't feel like fully right, especially because Saitama's still on the ship and he's still in the middle of the ocean. And obviously, all it takes is like a panel of, all it takes is a panel really of Murata showing him like taking the ship to the base, and he's like, okay, because obviously he took notice of it. Everyone took notice of it.
You didn't give you didn't think the cover page gave canon context?
No, I just thought it was a cover page. I just thought it was to look cool. There's plenty of that. Like, there's ones of like Saitama and Genos just like having like a ride in a car, but they're not driving around.
No, I agree. Like, don't give me. This is the argument to have.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, both instances are valid at multiple times in multiple situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are very seldom times where they do move the story forward in the cover page. The majority of the time, it isn't. Like I think a few chapters ago, we got the whole Tatsumaki in the library or something like that. Like I clearly understand the objection and I agree with it because I've used it myself. I'm just saying that's what I took from that. I thought that like, okay, this is telling us where Saitama is right now.
Yeah, I get what I mean. In a way, it's weird because he's just kind of standing in the corpse of evil natural water, and feel like that. It's weird, but of course, it's the whole pig god thing now because now he's super skinny. Who's been healed so much that they're like, either he's healed like people a certain amount and he's got a lot of like life energy, or like a few people are going to get back up. And of course, I forgot about Rover until you mentioned him, Grim. So Rover might jump out at some point because from the redraw, like he's pretty chill with Bang and stuff. So with Bang and Fubuki.
Whoa! You read the
Right?
redraw?
Yeah.
It's translated?
As in like the one with what Bang and Bomb versus Rover. Yeah. It's about ages, mate.
Whoa!
We're about different redraws.
Wait,
about
there's a set of 5 redraws apparently that were released within the past like 6 days or 5 days.
Oh, what to do with this chapter? No. I've read nothing else different from this chapter apart from
No, not of this chapter. Not of this chapter. When did you read redraws? Recently?
Months ago.
Oh, okay. You're
yeah.
talking about okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, old redraws. When I think Bang told him to sit, and I think he actually did sit, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm on about. So I guess it's where Rover's allegiances lie now. Because if there's like a few heroes teaming up, obviously 1-on-1 they can't beat Garou, but we've seen in the past with like the A and B class heroes, you don't necessarily need to match him with just pure power 1-on-1. You can hold him off or potentially beat him if there's enough like skilled individuals working together. So that could be the next stage before Saitama to buy time, or if there's like multiple S class heroes fighting him at once. But at the same time, the level he's at now, I mean, like this guy karate chopped a centipede from space, you know. I guess that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Shit. All right. So, okay. So I guess that's the other like link in that theory, right? So he's tired, right? What is he tired from? Because he hasn't fought anybody. So I get what people are saying, or I get what the theory is based around, or whatever it is. That Fubuki healed everybody with Big God. Okay. Maybe. I'm not saying no. But that's a lot of strong and added context. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Maybe because the last thing we saw from Fubuki was her healing somebody and using a medium for that. Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe the reason why we saw that in the first place was so that Murata could do it again here. Maybe. Excuse me, one. So one could do it again here. Maybe. I don't know. Or Pig Guy just needs to eat all the time.
Just
I
a
don't
quick one.
know.
Did you guys have any idea that was Pig God until he started eating gums?
No.
I didn't know it till literally it was said. Or what? Let me look, because I looked at him the whole time. I looked at him. I was like, wait, who the fuck is this guy? But when he held up his jacket, Sweet Man said it was like a tent, and he was like, "That's my jacket." Then I like paused, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I still didn't get it, but
He does.
when
I completely missed "That's my jacket" line. So I was really like, I was trying to figure out like everything. I was like,
me
"Yo,
too.
is this like homeless emperor or something? Like, what's going on?"
Oh, shit.
Nah. Until we got that gums panel, then I was like, oh, then it clicked like, oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys are open to it then. Like, it wouldn't be like crazy or bad to get a new character right now, or another new character, another new monster, another new threat.
And what fat, like a whole new monster just coming into the battle? I
Like
wouldn't
if,
like that.
like if this wasn't Pig God.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Because if that's what we're going to do to occupy Garou for whatever reason, then it's just, in my opinion, that's worse than the whole Sage Centipede thing. Because at least with Sage Centipede, we had Elder Centipede to work off just the lore, but an entirely different monster coming out of nowhere at this convenient time to fight Garou specifically just feels too convoluted and contrived. I would rather you give some reasoning for the Saitama and Garou fight to happen. What I think is going to happen is Psychos is finally going to do something, because by all accounts, I think the job is finished with the heroes. Like, what monster is
Oh shit!
left?
I feel like they need to at least like. I think Psychos and Garou at least need to have like not a mage scene, but she at least needs to see him because she wants to create this ultimate monster. And if she sees Garou, she's just like, "I've done it." You know, he's here.
Do you think there could be something like where, I don't think this specifically would happen, but like some type of like a mind control thing or something where she tries to turn his heart astray?
She could try. She obviously wants to control people, but I would be surprised if she gets interrupted or we know he can resist it already. So
Yeah.
I don't think it'll actually work, but she might try and do something like that.
Yeah. I feel like it's time for Cycles to do something because, like I said, all the monsters are pretty much done. We can say, like, we can speculate on whether or not some of the monsters are still kicking, but just as it stands right now, the monsters are done. So the Hero Association don't. They would have a reason for wanting to take Garou in, but that wasn't what they were set out to do. It's not like they have a mission to kill Garou.
I mean, they've. Do they ever do? There's not a capture on him anymore. It's just a kill. They recognize him as a monster, so they've got nothing wrong with killing him. But the point of this mission was just to rescue Wagomba. You know, it just kind of
Yeah.
evolved into everything else now. Also, just because we kind of glossed over it, so a My Mask, right? He's just back.
Ugh.
Oh my god. I remember like us speculating on like how it was going to happen, and it's just done in a way like, yeah, this is normal.
It was done
Okay.
normal with his cheeks out, bit. That's normal.
No,
I'm tired of it,
saying
bro. Flashy, zombie, Pootie. Like, what is it? What is it with these? Come on, bro. Am I now? Like,
I said that too. Like Murata, this arc specifically, he's been putting these heroes in situations where like their asses are out some way somehow. I don't know why. it logically it makes sense because if you fight the way they do, you know, like clothes will be torn off. Like that would happen, but I don't know. Like we seen leaps in logic where clothes don't fall off like that. So it just feels like he wants that the cheeks out. He wants y'all to see.
oh my god.
I really thought he'd come back monsterized, guys. I really did. I thought we'd see some kind of monsterized, like crazy, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing with a My Mask, and he's still not giving it to us. He's still hiding what's going on.
Yeah.
Apart from the cheeks, he's showing those, but
This is like, because I'm trying to look at Pig God, like, he seems so like tired and just like, because this is no more skinny Pig God. So like, is it like he has a crazy metabolism? Is that what it is, or like?
sure. I mean, if he can just eat raw monster, I think that's not a stretch. So,
Like, like shit, man. And we haven't we've seen him get like he got bit by poison. What is Pig got tanked? He got swallowed, bit by poison. He's gotten punched before, right? Yeah, assuming, sure. What else can he do?
just all around good guy.
Just oh my god, and the way he just like unhinges his jaw and shit. Yeah, because he wasn't fighting anybody, and he's tired.
What do you think? That's just like, I know he's got bags under his eyes. Do you think that's just extra skin from like losing all the weight?
No, because he looks skinny. Like he looks like I would expect that on other parts of his body too, or to have his skin sagging. But like you can even see like his Adam's apple and shit. Like you can even see like the famine marks, or the I don't know, his skin stretching up against his collarbone. A little muscle in his neck and shit like that too. Like I don't think there's any sagging skin here. I think this is cock diesel, Pig God.
I don't know about Cotton Diesel.
Okay, sure.
They're starving, Pig God. Like shit.
Man, that's a scary, like a famished pig god. You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. So I'm like, should I not like? It's actually given the context right here. If you read the dialogue, still can't move. Got to eat some more first. Like this is a weakened pig god. So I don't think it's like that because he's hungry all the time. That'd be badass though if like, but no, he's not. Yeah, he's not like carnal hunger type shit. He's more like, look at that bag of chips over there, man.
What's wild about the whole thing is that Sweet Mass didn't know who this was, and he's just like ignoring it pretty much. I'm like, yo, bro, you supposed to be a hero. Why are you just letting this like in your mind, this unknown person eat a monster? Like you just gonna let him chill?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not related really to this scene, but like, Amaya's already got like problems with Pig God. Like, he wants to. He. If he knew this was him, I don't know how he'd feel about it.
He had problems with Pig God?
Yeah, so like in the latest volume, there's like a side chapter, and it's like, "Am I masking Pig God?" Right, and he's basically looking for reasons to kind of fail Pig God as a hero because he doesn't meet his standards of beauty. But like Pig God's just doing everything right as a hero, apart from that. So he couldn't really like figure out a way to. It's not like a massive thing or anything, because when the Pig God sees like he gets like his checklist, like you're just marking me on how I look, and then my mask disappears after that.
He got him.
Yeah, Pig God's a good guy. There's like a bit in that chapter as well where like he goes to like an all-you-can-eat content, like all-you-can-eat place. It's like you eat this much, you get it for free. And Saitama's doing it as well and can't do it, but Pig God secretly pays the guy so Saitama doesn't feel bad.
Shit, sorry about
that. Forgiven, sure.
Yeah, I think rereading it, like the letters on his shirt were a giveaway. I don't remember seeing letters on his shirt when he's fat. Can you see them?
Yeah, it's Buta. It means like it means pig in Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been a giveaway, but I didn't realize that. And then that's my jacket comment as well, but I didn't realize that either.
Not until the reread, no, because I didn't even see that until it was only when he started eating. Yeah.
Yeah, because you never see his eyes and like his eyebrows like that. You don't.
I think it's even just that it's the hair on the smaller body, you know.
Yeah. He's like a badass though. Like if he had some crazy ass powers, bro. Shit.
Well, we still don't know like what he's apparently hiding and he's saving for later.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's the annoying part because now that I'm seeing these different panels and like really staring at it, maybe this theory that people are talking about, maybe there's more credibility to it.
I think so. I think people have got like I think people are on the right track with it. It makes sense. Why else he'd unless there's something we haven't seen him do off screen, but I feel like they wouldn't do that.
For sure, yeah.
But then we didn't see what happened to Amai, so
yes, and we also aren't going to get to see what this little hidden secret that he has is.
He I don't know. Apparently, it's like Blast. It's like this isn't apparently a scenario where he should be involved yet. You know.
At some point, we're gonna have to drop the whole Blast hype because what is Blast gonna do to even natural water?
I couldn't tell. He hasn't done enough, mate. But I assume it'd be something good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's a question then I'll ask you too. Okay. If heroes have come back, if Fubuki has brought some back, because certain ones I don't think can get back up, like Genos, it's mostly just to do with his core. He's done in my eyes. Like he's literally got no arms or legs at this point. Who do you think would come back?
Atomic.
Okay, sure.
I feel like Atomic wouldn't come back just to save that sword for later.
Oh, that's crazy. So niggas really don't want to see Garou get cut in half. All right, bro, just say that.
No, what I was saying was they were going to save that for later, just like how we're getting some of this other lore. I feel is going to be like stuffed in a box and we'll expand upon it later. Like this gums and whatever the fuck happened to Sweet Mass, I feel like that's gonna be stored for later. I honestly just don't see the heroes coming back, but if heroes were to come back, I mean, like who's not completely just like out of it?
See, because if I'm Fubuki, in my mind, I'm like, well, bring Tatsumaki back. You know.
Well, yeah, that's possible.
Do you think it's has to be proportional to like their power level? Like because Tatsumaki did so much, and because she was knocked out so badly, and because she's so strong, do you think it would take more to bring her back, or like for example, if you have Tadio, right, and you have Pig God, and Fubuki's taking energy from each of them to bring back um Tatsumaki and Moomin Rider, right?
Hmm.
Can Tadio bring back Tatsumaki, and can Tadio bring back Moomin Rider?
I don't think Tyra can bring back Moomin Rider, mate. No. I get the analogy you're going for, but
Maybe I said that wrong. Maybe it should be like
maybe if it was like Moomin Rider and Pig God.
yeah,
I think that's what. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
better one than the child and the S class hero.
No,
I
but that's
feel
what I
like
mean. Can the child bring back the S class hero? Do you not need a lot of energy to bring back somebody that strong? Does the strength of the person who you're healing not matter? Like, do the injuries not matter? Like, what matters in that context?
I feel like in that context, the injuries would matter. Like I imagine it's like jump starting a car. Like you use whoever as a battery, and I don't know how exactly it works, but I feel like it would just work better for people who are like less taxed from a fight. If it had something, if it was proportional to like strength, that would be weird. Unless she's also like rejuvenating their energy too. Like I could understand the healing aspect of a bit, but also giving them like I don't know. That'd be yeah. I couldn't see that.
I mean, because she suited up, boosted up, Bang and Bomb, but she didn't like rejuvenate Tank Top. She just kind of like put him back in place a little bit. Like he's still knocked out,
Hmm.
so maybe shit low key, bro. One sprinkled in like all the instances of this occurrence already. Like there it is. Yeah, that's why we got the redraw for that. Yeah, but I mean,
If it worked in a way where like she is also rejuvenating her energy, like from now on, if we had any S class fights of this scale, I'm having Fubuki and the rest of strong heroes on standby and letting Tatsumaki do everything.
bro, you already know. You would just need the Fubuki Tatsumaki duo, bro. Like it would be, it's the Unohana Ukitake Kyoraku trio from Bleach, man. Like perpetual strength, deadliness without bankais, man. On the level of being able to hold off Yamamoto. Like that's like it would be dirty. It would be dirty. Blast who? And it would kind of be cheating. You're right. I agree. So maybe it would be wrong to say that all of the heroes or a grouping of the heroes would come back from. But it's Big God. Like
Hmm.
that's the actually the common factor amongst the examples of individuals who've given energy, who've been like batteries or cells or sources. Bomb and Pig God. Big Pig God was like gargantuanly fat, man. like big, and he got sucked up. No homo.
So you gotta ask like what is also being taken away from that person.
I mean, it's not their soul.
So if it's just energy, like because Pit God had that energy, like he lost weight. I
I'm
don't know.
guessing. I'm guessing it's just saying that like they're just that tired. And that's how exhausted they were, or how much energy they lost. Because yeah, I mean, I guess the question would be why didn't why didn't Bomb get skinny? And that would be because you didn't need that much to heal up Tank Top, but Tank Top had got tooted up. Maybe that maybe that was once again showing us the boundaries or the parameters of the healing. Like if you have your legs twisted in your knee, in your asshole, in your elbow, behind your collar, like you just need an old man to boost you up. But then does the strength of Bomb matter? Like,
I'm sorry.
what do you mean?
Well, because you basically said if you get your asshole twisted, you need an old man to boost you up.
Oh.
I feel like the power she draws from it matters, but not necessarily the person that she's trying to heal or whatever. More,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like she's going to put them at full strength or something.
It's more like it depends how much healing we do, but she can at very least stabilize them so they're not in a critical condition.
I mean, but nobody there's really in critical condition, are they? I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how badly you can get beaten.
Right, Tank Top was the worst. We know that, but he's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, my skin got melted off. No, not my. Sorry, Dark Shine.
Yeah.
I'm thinking off the top of my head. Who else? Genos. Ignore Genos. He's fine.
Oh my god, his asshole ripped open.
Nah, he's fine. Look at him, mate. I don't know what about. He never got ripped up. They tore up his jeans, and he wants to kill him. But do you think Amai's going to get involved?
Listen.
That's actually. You know what?
Listen. Let's not even.
He's the only one in a good condition. He's actually
the phrase.
a good condition.
Do you know the magnitude of suck that the community will resort to if Amai competes up against Perfect Fist Girl?
Bro, I mean, okay. Here's the thing.
Everybody will get the Amai haircut. You'll start seeing that shit in school.
Okay. Okay. I don't think they'll call it the Amai haircut though. I'm pretty sure someone else had that before him.
Like, how'd you spot One Punch Man on the streets? He's got the Amai haircut, man.
Shit.
Like, okay, here's the thing, because I didn't think about Sweet Mass, even though he was in the chapter. He's the one hero that doesn't really need build up for that type of fight, because I can see Sweet Mass just wanting to run up things with Garou just because of how he looks. Purely because of that. He's like, all right, hold on. What you doing? You a monster, Bo?
I might kill him. Motherfucker. Dead ass. Like, you a monster,
huh? So I feel like that will work way more than, like I said, Saitama has to be built up, in my opinion. That's the fight we're all waiting for. I don't know how strong Sweet Mass really is. Oh my god, if that fight does happen though, watch out.
Nigga.
Watch out, Grim. Boy, oh boy. They're gonna be on both our heads, so it don't really matter.
Hell yeah, bro. You know how much shit we talked about sweet, bro? Sweet trash? Oh my god. Bro, if this motherfucker watch him block Garou.
You want it, guys? You can talk you out of this. If there's a monster form of Amai, you can be like that. It's fine. It's like, oh, it's not Ichigo, it's Hollow Ichigo. You guys got your way out of this. You got your jail free.
It's a whole new form. No, but I honestly, to be honest, bro, I'm low key okay with that. If Amai really is that thing, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. This is a place of honesty. Go ahead.
We don't have a proper ceiling for him. We already know his where he's at as a hero is not indicative of how strong he actually is. And based on the shit that he's talked, he's hyped himself up to a high degree. And if he was based on the panels, like portrayed on some type of even playing field with Flashy Flash, and we've seen what Flashy Flash can do. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't make sense for them to fight. Now he should get his ass whooped. Now that now that okay, no, he still should lose, but it based on like we don't know anything about his strength really, other than he should be stronger than A class for sure. He should be S class level. Um, it should make an interesting fight.
I mean, it's not consistent with anything that he's done. That's the whole problem. That like what he's shown has been mysterious and minimal, enough to be like, hey, you're not even trying, or like, hey, I want to see what you can do. Like it gives you those thoughts, but those events that are causing those thoughts aren't like he's deflecting an earth cutter, and or like, oh, he caught the Flashy Slash. It's not. He could have, but he's not. He's not doing those things. So it doesn't make you think that like, oh yeah, for sure. I bet Amai could do this or that. It's like, Amai talks shit to everybody. Besides Tatsumaki, I think he talks shit to Tatsumaki, didn't he? No. Probably not. But he's talked shit to everybody. Like everybody. He even told motherfuckers got to ACD late. Motherfucker got to A. Oh, I am cursing. The individual got to ACD late, and then was talking junk to everybody because they let it get destroyed over a modeling game or something like that, or a shooter. I forgot what he was doing, but
that's still the fight I want to happen. Melbat versus Amai.
Oh my god, it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen now that I think about it.
I don't know when, but I do want that. I just want that bat to just go in his face, you know?
He probably would hit too.
But here's a question about Amai. Now, obviously, the first opponent he fought was Fear. Like, apart from one was Fear Ugly, his like one weakness, and like now he's okay. Now, do you think that was them trying to nerf him? So, because he was just pretty strong and he'd do decent against anyone else.
Are you attempting to say that Fear Ugly was a matchup, and that Amai would have one shot if it wasn't for that matchup? I'm not saying one shot. No, an Amai fondler, Matt.
No,
What?
I'm neutral. I'm neutral in the Amai. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I think he's shady. I think he's incredibly shady. But I'm not like one of these people who's like crazy for him.
Okay, I got my eye on you.
I feel like that's fair. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't do anything. Like that was the whole thing about that fight. It's not to say that it will be a one shot, but if he is going to be somewhat comparable to Garou, then yeah, we can look at that in retrospect and go, if it wasn't this case where he was terrified of ugly people, then it could have gone that way.
I mean,
but I'm not in the business of hypotheticals like that. He took the L. I don't give a fuck.
No, he definitely. I'm not sticking up for that.
Agreed. And sure, it is suitable in retrospect to use that as justification for why he would be able to compete. But I mean, we'll see, man. Because we're talking about not liking the heroes coming back, right?
Yeah, that's more of a me thing. I would prefer just because I already feel like we had the heroes have their second win, so doing it a third time in the same arc just feels weird to me. But like like the question you asked with do you think like Fear Ugly was like there to nerf Sweet Mass and basically veil his power, like what he could do? think that it was the case because based on like how the Flashy Flash stuff went, him having the whole thing with Saitama and them being underground, like that was also another way of him not being on the battlefield. Um, just so things it would have made more sense for things to not have been concluded in a faster manner, no pun intended. So if Sweet Mass is supposed to be somewhat comparable Garou, way stronger than he's shown, then yeah, that's how Fear Ugly was used. But that's not a bad thing because that wasn't his only use. So don't get that twisted. Still had an impressive showing regardless.
Yeah, Fiora was that thing.
Fiora, yeah, genuinely one of the best monsters in the series.
Yeah.
Love Fiora.
Yep. Made the arc a plus. Like, alone increased the rating of the arc. And definitely. I hope it doesn't get censored. I hope it doesn't get censored. What color her panties? Man.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. So we talked a little bit about it, or we touched on it a little bit. But the death of Sage Centipede. I don't care.
I feel it.
So, just quickly, Elder over Sage, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Without question. A better portrayal.
Okay, I want to hear it from the man himself, Mr. Elder Centipede. That's
definitely.
fine.
Just without, like, not even... I mean, don't get me wrong. This panel right here, bro, in the middle of this, like, when they're zooming up to try and get to the core, oh my god.
That's one thing I'll say. The art, I don't know, it's always good, but this chapter had so many good pages. I feel like, because, like, there's been a couple times in, like, what was like a couple chapters ago, we're like, oh man, the art's not as, like, the art could have been better here. But this one was, like, insane. So many good shots with Sage and Garou. Can't complain. I can't at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, he fulfilled a purpose. I enjoyed for the most part his art, as we just talked about. I'm glad it's over. It's hard to describe the feeling because it has to do with what's going to happen next, right? We just talked a little bit about it that we don't know, and that's the interesting part, or the part that makes it like really worth going after, contemplating, or discussing. That's what we're here for. Like, what does the death of Sage signify? What does it really mean? Because we just finished going through a conversation where not only is it plausible to bring back individuals who should not be at Garou's current level, but an individual who's currently standing, that's back in the storyline right now, confirmed, should not be at Garou's level. And we're talking about them fighting him. At the very least, Garou was a character who, because of the namesake, we expected him to be, probably stronger than current Garou. So, like, can we even say that by defeating Sage, that Garou reached a height that, like, can't be reached? Are we gonna see, like, the heroes come back and with a grouping or a culmination or a compilation or a gaggle or a flock or an ensemble of attacks are going to threaten Garou? If go ahead.
I was gonna say, as it stands now, this is kind of the thing I do with Tatsumaki. In most cases with Tatsumaki, I always give her the benefit of the doubt, unless it's of course Saitama's the biggest anomaly in everything. Of course, I would give Saitama the edge in a hypothetical match between those two. I'm because of everything that happened, Garou is also getting that same respect from me. He's getting the benefit of the doubt in damn near every fight until I until it's proven wrong.
I mean, it has been proven wrong. That was the hype in the beginning. He was getting clapped by niggas. Watchdog, yeah.
This Garou currently is so different. Like since the fight with Bang, he's completely different. I
mean, he's doing stuff that like is comparable to Saitama in sense of like Saitama obviously one punched Evil Natural Water, but like he had help from Metal Bat, yeah, definitely. But he's the only other guy to take on something of this like this threat level and come out on top.
Yeah, well, I'm honestly just enjoying the art of this arc. Like the moon in the background every single time. That's so satisfying, bro.
It's something just reading it back as well, because that's what you got to do. Is like after we know about the moon, just looking at the moon in every shot, it's just okay. I want to know what's going on.
Hell yeah, it was a great job adding that detail, and carrying the storyline forward from that. Because you can still see the crater of Saitama's launch from there. Like it's, man, it's why we read it, bro. But moving along with Garou's storyline, the great chop. We saw him chop Saitama's shoulder when he first joined the dojo. He chopped a bunch of bricks and left one out there as well. But now he's finished it. I didn't get a chance to look back to see at all the other times where Garou was chopping. I was kind of hoping or asking people in the Discord if they remember moments as well. So if you guys remember moments where Garou has used his chopping attack, did it always succeed? Did it always fail? What's the coincidence with or the story with the whole chopping thing, aside from the context that they gave us? He cuts through Sage Centipede all the way down. The only thing that we've seen that's close to this, or better than this, is Saitama punching through EC. And we have to say that that's, or no, we don't have to say, we can discuss it, I guess. Because people may see it differently, but I think this feat is a greater feat than Saitama's punch because the centipede is much larger. Much larger. But what do you guys think of the chop?
certainly impressive, given what we know about his durability and like the precision it takes to cut him like clean split down the middle. Like super impressive.
Yeah, man. At the moment I realized he was chopping it in half was incredible. It's so the art is of course great. It's not just that; it's the fact he's chopping it from space. Like he's on the atmosphere of the Earth, and like the whole symbolism of like trying to like use the legs as tiles is so good. I love this. This was amazing.
Didn't we see Saitama or get a dialogue during the super tournament arc about Saitama encountering the epitome of martial arts? I think it was in reference to Goketsu or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he just ultimately decided that martial arts was just looking cool, which is so I don't know whether this is going to change his mind at all, but I doubt it.
Mm.
Did you guys see the panel of where it says this was a blessing? You got Sage cut and like he starts curling up on each side, and the moon is in the background, looking like an eye.
Yeah,
oh
it's watching him. And I don't know if that's on purpose, but the moon looks a bit different. Like it's not a perfect circle, you know. Like, is that to sim? Is that me? Like, oh, that's me overthinking it. Definitely.
No,
Like,
it looks
that
exactly like an
simple or
eyeball.
something?
That looks like an eyeball or a melon.
Yeah, obviously it looks like an eyeball, but it's not like a perfect like circle. Like the left looks like a bit like slightly dented, and I think I'm just super overanalyzing this, and I'm just be like, oh my god, it means something. But no, it's just a drawing, mate. Calm down.
It means something. We can't keep pretending here. We know exactly who's watching, bro. We know exactly what that means. It
We know
can't
who's
be
watching,
this
but,
obvious,
like,
bro.
That's the best. The best one's still him, just like of symbolism is literally like the shot of Sage Centipede like leaving the atmosphere, Garou's head, and there's the moon. Garou's literally chasing up to God.
That's the other person I thought that would be next, right?
Are you still on board of Garou? Are you still thinking God's going to get taken down the side?
It doesn't have to be the defeat. What it's just that there's too much. Like, I'm really bothered by the fact the community is completely focused on Garou, even though Garou himself is having dialogue about God. Sure, it's like metaphorical dialogue, but Sage's dialogue wasn't metaphorical, and Sage showed up targeting Garou. So all I'm pointing out is that I feel very uncomfortable with the fact that nobody's talking about Sage's dialogue, that God is being disregarded here when we've seen him offer up this deal to a multitude of individuals, possibly even Sage himself or even Atro Ocean. So, is God the next threat that Garou's gonna fight? I don't think he's ready for that. But could God come up with another proxy? Sure. People have mentioned that they don't like that because it would be tacky, or is the whole arc just going to be God's proxy? We don't know. One of the better predictions that I've heard, or that I myself believe in, is that the consecutive arcs, if God isn't resolved, will involve that. Will involve us encountering multiple and different proxies of God, of different scales and different levels and different varieties. I wouldn't mind that. Not in one arc, not being the entire focus maybe, but I would love that sprinkled in. Just like the G5 bots are sprinkled into like every other storyline. It'd be badass if we got a proxy of God every other threat or something like that. That'd be fine. All I'm saying is that who else, man?
The fact that we keep asking who else is next really is why I'm like, so Saitama, right? Because we're genuinely at a point where like we're trying to come up with like we're saying like a my mask and you know maybe the hero's going to come back, but we're generally at like this point we're like who else is there? And generally there's always been an answer for that for Garou because even like before this I was like well maybe it's Flashy, we've got other monsters, we've got other heroes. We're now like here. We're here where we're genuinely kind of getting stumped at who's there. There's not like a clear answer. And if we're at that point, then I think it's got to be Saitama, right?
In terms of someone matching him in power, yes. But when I think about like who's next, the way I'm answering that is from a more like a narrative standpoint, because I can't see Garou and Saitama fighting unless you put something in between that, whereas they try to hype that up some way somehow.
He can't even touch Tatsumaki. I'm in agreement, in my personal opinion, I'm saying who else because Tatsumaki's out of the picture because Blast isn't gonna show up to save anybody. Those are the guys that are there before Saitama was in the question. So it's not like there aren't others. It's that, just like Sasuke is saying, and I agree with 100%, narratively, that's the question. Narratively, who's next?
What's Speed of Sound Sonic doing? Let's get him.
Stop! Somebody arrest Matt.
Hey!
Somebody arrest him.
he take one look at bro. He ran away from goddamn Deep Sea King. I wasn't even going there.
Get armor. Get Sonic in his armor. Get him his ninja gear. We'll see what's going on.
Still ran away. Momo would have stepped up.
Mate, Momo
did step up.
Actually, no, he would. He'd ride his bike and crash it into it.
Hell yeah.
Justice crash you.
Let's
Get him a
see.
motorbike, 200 km an hour, just this clash, just to get it going.
All right. So let's see. Perfect Fist. I think that's actually it. Do you guys have anything else to mention?
I like the ending. I like his moment of triumph where he's like, I'm the pinnacle of martial arts. He's thinking about Bang. You know, he's like, like that moment I like with the tiles where it's about him like he couldn't break them all, so that's what kind of pushed him into martial arts to try and push himself. And now he's at a point where he can do what he couldn't do at the beginning, and he's like he's thinking of Bang at this point. You know, he's like, I broke him this time, old man.
I'll say like my last thing on why I feel like there has to be a fight in between the Garou and Saitama thing, or unless they add like a lot of dialogue to hype it up. Um, like right now, Garou, he feels like he's the shit, right? Like he just perfected his fist and whatnot. He just took down Sage Centipede. What reason would Garou have to fight this random bald dude with a cape? He's seen him before, right? But he didn't know what the fuck happened to him. Like he didn't know Saitama whooped his ass. That's the problem with it. Like if it went in a different way where he knew like Saitama was overwhelmingly stronger than him, it would make sense for him to approach him. But he has no reason to fight someone who he would, unless he can sense power levels, perceive to be weaker than him, like way weaker.
Well, is that going to be the setup then? If like, I just have like a monster shows up, Saitama one punches them, and Garou clearly sees it, and he's
Yeah,
like,
that
"Oh,
could happen.
who's this guy?"
But the issue is like what monster is left. He didn't see what happened with or he doesn't know what happened with Evil Natural Order, so that's
Mm-hmm. That's the whole I can't think of, but that's like, yeah. I mean,
Still the Tario trigger.
there's still I'm still a big fan of Taro Trigger. Obviously, that's no secret. I'm the big one on that. But I'm trying to think of like why we're trying to just come up with the reason why these two would meet. So it's either got to be the Taro Trigger or he sees him do something that makes Garou go, I need to go stalk him or fight him. I think it's down to Psychos then, right?
yeah. I feel like that's what's going what it's going to be.
He doesn't even know who she is.
But no, but I think it's going to be something with Psychos and Garou that I don't think it's going to be. I don't even know if Psychos and Saitama are ever going to interact.
Ooh, there would be so much fan art of that, bro. Like,
What?
yeah, bro, you already know, bro. The shipping, oh my god, niggas would draw the hell out of that.
What if they just talked? That's how. I don't know why I question. That's how shipping works, isn't it? Two characters talk, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh, well, there, well."
Not even,
Yeah.
bro. You could have two characters in the same chapter, not even in the same place in the story, and niggas will start shipping them, bro. Well, like characters from different stories, niggas will start shipping them, bro, because they look alike.
The crack ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Because right, barrier's down. Yeah, Tatsumaki's barrier's fully down. Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can think of that would justify is if Psychos, like, is somehow out the barrier, grabs like the hostages, and because Garou can see from he's got good eyesight, like sees what's going on, thinks Tario's dead, and then that's it. You know.
Or he sees them titties and goes after them.
What does that mean?
Of course, classic Garou.
What?
That's what he loves, you know.
That's what he does now. What the?
Oh man, I forgot. I forgot about the side chapter in volume 22 where Garou just goes out all night. It's like, whoa! It's like his Master Bang, you know.
Remember when he punched that executive? He took his girls too. He came back for him.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think that's about it. You know, Garou's design is cool, badass. The panel where he says my fist is not perfected, amazing scope of his body. No homo. Like Matt said earlier, we got a bunch of badass panels here. Are just iconic. We really need a whole. I need to do a video of just collaging all the badassery of One Punch Man, but the niggas love the copyright.
Mate, good luck with the copyright, yeah.
But yeah, so we technically saw Garou in space, or in the upper atmosphere.
The
That was badass. Sage is the biggest monster, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
yeah.
that, at full length, that's full length. It's from the ground to the upper atmosphere. So, yeah, biggest monster. There's no question, actually.
Jesus, man.
See, it's chapters like this where we get, like, it's good because we get conclusions to stuff. So, obviously, like the Sage stuff, but we also, but it's like, you know, but they start with questions. It's like with a Mayan pig guy, it's like, what happened there? What happened to Amai? It's like, it's good.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's gonna be it for 159, boys. The question of the chapter: who's next? We've given our opinions, our speculation, our thoughts on other individual speculations about the preceding events. What are yours? What are your opinions on what we said here? Let's discuss. Like the video, subscribe, join the channels that are in the description below of Matt and Sasuke, as well as the other podcast members. We all do content on One Punch Man, so you can stay in the loop at all times. Yo ho ho!